We've been using machine learning and AI at Amazon for 25 plus years, and it's been really deeply embedded into every business in which we operate. And you can see it all over Amazon. If you look at the personal recommendations in our e-commerce business, that comes from AI. If you look at the pick paths that our associates in our fulfillment centers pick items, those are AI algorithms. You look at Prime Air or our drones, or if you look at our Go stores, or if you look at Alexa, those are all fueled by machine learning and AI. And so it has been a very big part of our heritage for 25 years. Now, over the last 9 months or so, you've seen this new inflection point for AI with the advent of generative AI, and it's just made it much more accessible to a lot more people. And we're quite excited about it as well. I think it's still very early days in generative AI, but moving quickly. And we see it as having 3 key layers. At the bottom layer, every company that does generative AI is going to train models, and it's going to run inference or predictions from those models on compute. And the key factor in that compute is going to be the chips that's in that compute. And to date, there's been pretty significant scarcity in the capacity of chips out there, and then the options for customers on what they could run chip-wise there. And so it's why we've been investing for several years in our AWS business in building customized machine learning chips. And we have one that's focused just on training that we call Trainium. And we have one that's focused just on inference that's called Inferentia. And we're on the second versions of both those chips. And the price performance combination for those training and inference chips is very compelling relative to alternatives out there. So we're very optimistic that a lot of these models will be trained on these AWS training and inference chips. Then the middle layer of that stack really is around the large foundational models that people are going to build generative AI on top of. And if you look at these leading models, they take billions of dollars and many years to ultimately train. And there's going to be relatively few companies that want to pursue that. What most companies tell us they want is they want to use somebody else's very large foundational model and then customize it on their own data, making sure that their own data doesn't leak to the general model, but being able to customize that foundational model with their own data for their own application purposes, and then being able to have all the same capabilities they're used to using in the rest of their technology infrastructure platform. And that's why we announced Bedrock, which really is foundational models as a service. And so in Bedrock, we will expose some of our own large language models that we've been working on for several years that we call Titan. But we'll also give customers access to other third-party foundational models like Anthropic's, like Stability AI's, like AI21's, as people will use lots of different models, and they'll be able to use those as the foundation to then customize with their own data with the same security, the same privacy, and all the same platform features they're used to using and running their workloads in AWS that they can run with these Bedrock models as well. And then that top layer of the generative AI set of solutions is really the applications that you're going to build on top of these foundational models. And there are going to be a lot of these. We think one of the high potential early ones is a code assistant. And that's why we built Code Whisperer that allows customers to use natural language to say things like, I want to build a video hosting website. And then Code Whisperer generates that code for them to just deploy. It's a huge game changer with respect to developer productivity, and it's got a lot of early traction. But we're pursuing lots of applications ourselves inside of Amazon. Every single one of our businesses is using generative AI to reinvent customer experiences. And while we'll pursue a number of those applications, many more will be built by external companies and developers. And we're quite optimistic that a lot of those applications will be built on top of AWS. So it's very early days in generative AI. It's very high potential, and we're investing quite a bit in it and expect to be a leader.